again and welcome back to another show full of incredible cruise and stay packages from Cruise1st. It's Polly and Derek and we're here to whisk you away to Asia with Princess Cruises for 2026 with 3 very tempting offers all available to snap up today with very low deposits.
Yes, considering the trips are for the year after next, we're locking in incredible world travel this show for very low deposits indeed, which is very exciting. It means you can get it planned right now and know that it's happening even though it's way into the future. We've got Malaysia, Thailand, Japan and South Korea all on the menu as part of amazing cruises on the Diamond Princess, who of course is one of the favourites in the fleet for cruising Asia with Princess.
So let's start with a 2-week getaway to Vietnam for January in 2026. Now don't forget, the holiday we're about to walk you through can be booked today for just a deposit of £199 per person. So that trip starts with your flight from the UK out to Singapore in Malaysia. And when we arrive, relax and soak up this city, we've got a 2-night hotel stay. Oh, we love Singapore. It
idyllic.
Just look, yeah, amazing. I mean, the shopping district, even if you can't afford to go in all these incredible shops, just to walk along and see those window displays and, and feel part of that hustle and bustle.
Just to wander around in a completely different big city is always exciting, isn't it? To spend some time there, drinking the culture and see somewhere by night as well.
Yes.
Super, super exciting. And that's all before the cruise happens.
Yes, so then you will join Princess for your 10 nights of a luxury, the Diamond Princess. I mean, there's so many iconic things about Princess. They were voted best cruise line itineraries by Cruise Critic and best ship excursions by Global Traveller magazine. And it's it sort of says how they really immerse themselves into like exploration for people as well.
Yeah.
And you've just really been with Princess.
I have.
Haven't you?
I've just literally yesterday have been on the brand new Sun Princess, which is the first time I've been on a Princess ship actually, funnily enough, after talking about them for a decade and a half. And actually, do you know what I felt straight away when I was on board? The whole feel is very, very relaxing. There's nothing there that kind of jars. There's a really nice sort of calm, comforting feeling. And I really get now how people go back to Princess again and again and again, because the staff on board and the crew on board, oh my word, they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. And they get, you imagine all the questions they get asked. You know, even if you work in a coffee shop on a cruise ship, you get asked question after question after question. Have you got this alternative? Have you got that alternative? There's so many of them and they're so wonderfully patient and friendly.
And knowledgeable as well about where you're going and what
Yes.
you're doing. Because yes, you might get asked about the coffee, but you might be asking about the next place you're going to. And they've actually got some fantastic nuggets of information.
Well, they're as excited about travelling the world as you are.
Exactly, yeah, of course, fantastic. Another thing actually about their itineraries, they do more time in port now. So like it can be 9 p.m. or later by the time you've got to get back on a cruise ship.
Well, that's good.
Which is fantastic because when you're out for the day, that's great. Well, that's on, and they do overnight stays, of course, as well, which we'll take a look at. But yeah, I mean, the other things that are iconic about Princess cruising, movies under the stars. So you've got that fantastic pool deck area. By day, loads of activities going on. But at night, there's massive screens and you snuggle up. I mean, just being in the middle of the ocean and watching a movie. Or they have all the latest sporting events as well.
Yes, they do actually.
There was, or the boxing or whatever's on.
There was a match on the big screen. I was on the Sun Princess yesterday actually. Yeah, you know what? There's plenty of deck space without it being too massive. There's plenty of room for everyone and a nice big clear screen, and you can hear it clearly as well.
As you said, something for everyone. Those words came up on the screen.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, very well timed. Sorry, carry on.
It's brilliant. And like I can get now completely how that creates the most wonderful atmosphere of the evening. Of course, this cruise, though, I think actually this is going to be an early to bed pretty much every night cruise, because it's about the excitement of where you're going to, isn't it?
Yeah, cruising out of Singapore and arriving in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. The history here goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. So that means there's loads of museums showcasing the country's dark wartime history, the classic colonial architecture built by former French rulers. Very exciting. On to Nha Trang. Now that's on a gorgeous bay Bay, which is known for sandy beaches, one of the longest cable car rides in the world, 2 miles long. Oh, and it goes over to an amazing island. You get incredible views of the bay. Well worth it. I know.
Wow.
You're then going to go to Halong Bay for Hanoi. Now, here you do have an overnight on board in port. Here, there's a fantastic thing to do. There's a water puppet show at the Tha Long Water Puppet Theatre. Now, it's a unique form of Vietnamese entertainment, and it originated in the rice paddies, where puppeteers use the water as a stage. So that would be a quite cute thing to go and do.
Cute.
It's Hanmei next. Now, this is a lovely place to go to. So much history. Again, it's all about the temples and all those wonderful things that you can do. And I mean, Princess, their actual excursions are amazing. It's well worth seeing what there is. A couple of days at sea and you're back to Singapore, where you get your flight home. Like you say, it's an early to bed itinerary, that, because you are going to want to be off and exploring every day.
But also, you've got some sea days as well. So, yeah, you'll have some, early nights before your port days, I think, because you'll be really excited about filling your day in those destinations. But then you can see nicely punctuated in the itinerary is lovely sea days, which I call lazy days, because you get to do absolutely nothing if you want to. Although you could join in with lots and lots of activities. In fact, I saw on one of the Princess ships yesterday loads and loads of different activities going on, and they are well attended as well, let me tell you. So this is planning, of course, for the start of 2026. Our price includes the flights to and from Singapore. We've got 2 nights in a hotel there, and then we've got 10 nights of cruising full board on the Diamond Princess through Thailand and Vietnam, including the overnight in Hanoi there. Now, remember, as we said at the top of the show, you can book this today with a deposit of just £199 each. So if you've really wanted to explore this part of the world, do it with like-minded people in relaxed comfort and style with Princess at a price tag which will appear here and be exceptional. Now, one thing I will say to you, in all seriousness, is that the price of travel is changing, and it's starting to change quite dramatically as well. So £199 deposit right now locks in this price tag. Who knows in the middle of next year what this package might look like price-wise. Potential is it's going to be a lot higher. So £199 each today locks in your chance and fixes that price tag for you. So it is well worth doing that, seriously. Here's the details if you'd like to upgrade, and there are some lovely upgrades you can treat yourself to on board with Princess as well. Lots of different groups of staterooms, and so they're all different kinds of ocean views, and they're all different kinds of balconies. There are suites, and there are mini suites, and there are owner suites as well on board. But of course, the higher grade you go to, the less of those that there are. So if you do want to treat yourself to the ultimate upgrade on something like this, then I would get in sooner rather than later. But seriously, heed the warnings about travel prices. And I'm not, this isn't scare tactics or anything like that. It's just the reality of life these days. Every time you go and want to make new travel plans, you're just noticing at the moment that prices are just sneaking up, and it's a bit here and it's a bit there, but across a package holiday that can make a big difference within just a few months. So with a deal like this, just £199 each as your deposit, and you've got that price locked in for you. 0800 953 4700. Amazing. Right, listen, here is another brilliant piece of advice as well. Whenever you're doing travel like this, do it through someone you trust. And if you're liking the prices of our fabulous packages, here are many, many different reasons to trust us with your booking.
With over 20 years of travel experience, when booking with Cruise1st, you're dealing with the cruise specialists. We can tailor-make the perfect holiday for you, adding hotel stays and exciting land tours so you can fully immerse yourself in the destinations you're visiting. As a fully bonded member of APTA and Atoll Protected, you have the peace of mind that your booking is safe with us. We've been on your TV screens for over a decade, and we guarantee the best cruise prices. If you find one of our offers cheaper elsewhere on TV, then we'll match or beat that price. We allow you to spread the cost of your holiday with many of our deals. Just pay a deposit today, and then you have until your due date to pay your balance. Plus, we're one of the highest rated cruise agents on Trustpilot, with over 6,000 independent reviews, so you can be fully confident when booking your next holiday with Cruise1st.
Loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. And don't forget, of course, if you've got any questions along the way, just give our team a call, 7 days a week, free call. They'll always find the answer for you. Right, what should we do next, Polly?
Well, next up, this trip's slightly later in January and it's in 2026 and we're exploring Malaysia and Thailand. So, the 27th of January 2026, you'll get yourself off to the airport for your flight to Singapore.
Yay.
For a 2-night hotel stay to start things off.
Back to Singapore.
I know, and I think the great thing, and we have said this before about Singapore, and what strikes me is how you've got the old and the new fused together there. You've got those incredible skyscrapers that look so modern and silver. We've got the gardens by the bay there. I mean, electronic trees. How amazing is that? But then you've got all that history as well. And it's a city, it's hustle and bustle, but it's so green. Like there are plants, there are trees. Oh, look at that, marina, gardens by the bay at night time. Incredible. And because you're there for a couple of nights, you'll get to see it by day and night as
you're
well.
lucky people.
I know, before joining the Diamond Princess for 11 nights. Oh my goodness me, look at that. Now, another thing, obviously we're talking about Princess in this show, that people love about Princess, because they are a cruise line that seem to get a following and people go back again and again. They really do like it, is the food. Like, there is such a vast array of options when you're on board.
Yes, and do you know what I noticed as well is that every single restaurant, you know, and this is very, very easy to say until you've actually been there and you've actually seen it. And I was on one of their ships, as I say, just literally yesterday. And the theming in each of the restaurants is really, really interesting. And every one of them feels very special. You walk around the main dining, for instance, and you feel, oh, actually, this is special. This
and then
feels really
what
nice.
did you notice in terms of, because I know a lot of people say this about cruising, dress code. People who haven't cruised before seem a bit overwhelmed. Like, what do I wear?
Do you know what? On the cruise that I saw, very, very relaxed.
Yeah.
Very relaxed. Whatever you're comfortable in. I think the great thing about the world we live in today is that kind of our attitudes have changed a little bit, and you know, actually our own rigid rules have changed a little bit. I think before you always felt like you needed to dress in a certain way in certain surroundings, and I think that's less so these days. Of course, there's still opportunities to kind of dress up and, you know, do the whole 9 yards in the evening. Do it for the professional pictures.
Absolutely,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Let's do it and go for it. But if that's not your thing, then it's really not a problem. You know, I never see on any cruises, to be honest, I never see people kind of whispering behind their hand, kind of going, "Whoa, what's she come as?" You know, do you know what I mean? There's not that kind of snobbery on board.
Once you've cruised, though, you get that, and that's more for first timers. There is a whole thing about
don't worry
dress,
about
but
it, honestly.
like, there we go. Derek has said it, and he is the cruise king. That it literally anything goes, quite literally. So another lovely thing about Princess, the entertainment. Those stage shows in that main theatre are just sort of on a level with what you would see in New York, in London, on Broadway, in the West End. They are absolutely fabulous. I mean, a lot of the performers are from the West End, are from Broadway, are like, you know, it's absolutely spectacular.
What's better than if you've come from the West End of London, for instance, you know, performing there, than your theatre floating around the world?
Oh, I know, getting to travel. Fantastic.
How good is that for the CV as well?
Well, I'm trying to get my daughter. She's only 13, but she's a dancer. I'm like, this is the way. Get on a cruise ship.
This is the life.
So here is where we're going. We're first going to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Now, here you've got the Petronas Twin Towers. They're amazing. Well worth a visit as well. You've got the Batu Caves and the National Mosque. Lots to see. Great trips when you're there. Langkawi is next. Here you've got Kilimkars Geoforest Park. Now, there's a gorgeous boat tour of mangrove forest there, bat caves, floating restaurants. That's kind of a leading attraction there. Imagine going, oh, we're just having dinner on a floating restaurant.
Lovely.
Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Phuket in Thailand next. I mean, you'll have heard of it. You thought what it's going to be like. It's very alive. It has incredible beaches, stunning Buddhist temples as well. And it's kind of those places where you could sunbathe, you could party, or you could immerse yourself in history. Penang is next. Now here you want to wander around Georgetown. It's got gorgeous street art. There's murals that interact with the surroundings and tell the stories of the history and of the area as well. It's just a lovely, lovely stroll and walk through there. A couple of days at sea, and it's Koh Samui in Thailand. Very, very idyllic. It's forested island. It's got gorgeous, pristine, sandy beaches, but you can go inland as well. And oh my goodness, you're going to see the most incredible waterfalls there. Plantations where monkeys harvest coconuts too. Next, we're going to go to the port for Bangkok in Thailand. Now here, I mean, you've got temples, palaces galore. The Temple of the Emerald Buddha, that's carved from a single block of jade. I mean, that is a must visit. A couple of days at sea, you're back to Singapore, and that's where you get your flight home. Another itinerary where you're going to want to be off the ship every day, seeing those amazing places.
Yeah, super exciting. One block of jade to do that. And that's a valuable gemstone as well. I know, talking from my gemstone days, that is not only highly revered, but highly valuable as well.
And heavy.
And auspicious as well. Hence, you know, it's those wonderful, meaningful symbols that they make from jade as well, because it's very, very auspicious. I'm excited about this trip for you, actually. So, again, we are planning for 2026, of course, to max out the value for you. As I said before, you know, you can see the price of travel, whether it be taking a train, you know, locally, or even taking a taxi into town. You know that prices of travel is changing left, right and centre. So this is your chance to lock in our price today with a deposit of just £199 each. And remember, that includes, for this package, the flights to and from Singapore, 2 nights in a hotel there, and then your 11 nights of cruising on the Diamond Princess, Malaysia and Thailand, including your calls into Phuket and to Bangkok as well, which are going to be really highlight ports for this itinerary. That will definitely be an early night before to have a full day in Phuket and in Bangkok as well. Okay, here's a price tag which you will want to just snap up right now at $2,299 per person. Again, if you were trying to make your own arrangements, and by all means, you know what, have a flight of fancy, get your tablet out, get your computer out and whatever, go do searching. You know, or I always say this, you know, don't take my word for it that this is a great value for money deal. You know, put your money where your mouth is and go and have a little search around the internet. Just go and search up flights and a hotel and consider all of the other things that you will have to pay for if you're not taking a cruise. Do you know what I mean? Travel from place to place to place and all of those other incidentals, and see, you know, how quickly you would spend a budget like this, like that, very, very easily indeed. This, you can lock it in right now. You've got the reassurance that you're going to be looked after when you're on that cruise, going to all of these destinations, and you've got the chance to book excursions to go and really explore these places as well when you're there. Let's have a look at upgrade prices. Obviously, that's based in your interior, which is lovely, which is clean and comfortable. You'll be glad to know lots of wardrobe space poly there. Of course, if you go up for one of the suites or the mini suites there, you can have a walk-in wardrobe if you like. Very, very nice indeed. Very clean, very comfortable, looked after every single day. Of course, on a Princess cruise, if you want to make it all-inclusive, Princess Plus, always your best friend. It's very, very simple because everyone wears this medallion. And I really got the simplicity of the medallion yesterday when I was on board one of the Princess ships, because you wear it on a lanyard around your neck or attached to you or clipped to you in some way. And every time you go up to a bar, or even if you go up to the coffee shop and you want a specialty coffee which is chargeable, or you want to book a treatment in the salon, you just tap your chip coin on the little reader. It does all of that for you in the background. But if you've got Princess Plus, you've got so much more which is included. So you've got your drinks package, you've got unlimited Wi-Fi, and you don't need Wi-Fi to use the app on board, by the way. Everyone gets that for free, that functionality, which is great. But then, of course, if you want to browse the internet and do messaging and things like that externally, then go for the Wi-Fi. And that's why Princess Plus, just for drinks and Wi-Fi alone, if it stopped there at £50 per person per day, that would be good. But it also includes your tips, more dining, which normally would be chargeable, no charges for room service, for delivery of food and drinks to the very spot you are on the ship, which I think is a massive bonus, because, you know, these ships are sizable. You know, sometimes you can be up on top deck, you've got the premium place and you've got your lounger, you know, the sun's in the right place, you're in the right place, you don't really want to shift off just because you want to go for a burger. Well, you just order via the app. your burger, your fries, your and a glass of champagne, for instance. And because you're wearing your chip coin, your little medallion, they know exactly the spot you are on the ship. Something else I spotted as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so full of princess.
No, I want to hear it
Just been on
all.
board.
We love it.
But there's screens around the ship where if you think, oh, now where was that restaurant again? You just go up to these screens, tap your chip coin, it can navigate you there. But also you can see the events that are on. So rather than having to go back to the cabin for the paper thing or even have the app with you, just tap on these screens, you can see all the events that are going on. You can also see how many people have said, I'm bookmarking that to go. So if there's a quiz on or something like that, you know how many people are already going. So you think, brilliant, I won't arrive there and I'll be there on my own.
Oh, I love it. Now, when it comes to our bookings here at Cruise1st, I think it's fair to say that Japan is really leaping up in the charts in terms of popularity. Everybody wants to see the sights, spend some time exploring the variety of different regions of Japan. So our next Explorer trip ticks all the boxes over 2 weeks in June 2026. Now, we'll start by flying from the UK over to Tokyo in Japan and start off your introduction to the country by staying for 3 nights in a hotel in the capital city, which I just think is the perfect way and the perfect amount of time. I mean, wow, going to Tokyo. So here you've got the Meiji Shrine. That's dedicated to the Emperor Meiji and Empress Shokan. Tokyo's oldest temple there as well, and that's surrounded by the lively Nekami shopping street. Of course, bit of shopping, you've got to get something from there. I mean, this is going to be an iconic trip, isn't it? You've got the Tokyo Sky Tree, where you want to see views of the city. It's a towering broadcast and it's an observation tower as well. I mean, just amazing. Imagine being at the top of that and seeing the whole of Tokyo.
Endless possibilities.
Endless. 3 nights there before joining Diamond Princess from Yokohama for your 12 nights of just amazing time on board. So we'll go back to, do you want to go back to the medallion then? So
yes,
and then it's just all charged to your account. You don't need to worry about money and stuff like that at all.
Yeah, no, you don't spend money on board at all, because I think some people do wonder about that as well. Do I need to get lots of Japanese yen because I'm cruising in Japan, for instance, to pay for things on the ship? And no, at all, not at all. You set up your account before you go, you do all of that on the app before you get there, then you wear your medallion and whatever you want to charge. And there's some great shopping on board as well, by the way. Joe was awing the diamonds on board. So there's lots of big brands on board, tax and duty free, of course. And of course, you've got the time to kind of look and make those decisions and, you know, nudge the right person, etc.
In terms, to go back to you saying about setting up the app and your account. Now, for some people that might overwhelm them. How do I set all that? That's something we can help with before you go.
Yeah. And of course, Princess, funny enough, when I was on board one of the Princess ships yesterday, I met one of the lovely ladies who is a resource manager for Princess. So they deal with the online chat for their website and their call centres for customer service, of which they have very, very good results as well. I was talking about, because I used to run call centres myself as well. So we were talking about how quickly they answer the phone, for instance, and how helpful they are on their web chat as well. So if ever you think to yourself, oh, right, okay, we're not going for another 6 months, but I wonder, what do we do here, or what do we need for that? You know, you can call Princess as well. You know, once you've got your booking details from us, then you can call Princess and you can interact with them as well. They'll give you loads of information before you go, so please don't worry. You'll be so well looked after. Something else I just quickly wanted to point out as well on the Princess ships, and this is more over than I've ever seen before, and just bear in mind, this yesterday was the first time I've been on a Princess ship. So many people decorating their cabin doors, and I'd never really seen that so much on cruise ships before, but that's because that's loyal passengers going back again and again and again and again and again. And it's an American thing as well. But what a lovely thing to do.
So they were bringing their own stuff from home to decorate
their cabin doors.
Like they thought about it and planned it out. That's fantastic. We need to make this a thing, much more bigger than Princess.
It just shows you what a lovely atmosphere and just how loyal people are to Princess as well. So we're coming out of Yokohama in Japan
and arriving in Nagasaki. Now here you've got Glover Garden garden. It's an open-air museum and it showcases Western-style residence from the 19th century and the insights into kind of the lives of the early foreign traders and the missionaries as well. Sounds extremely interesting. Next, we're going to Busan in South Korea. Here, some gorgeous beaches, lush green nature reserves and serene hot springs. I've never been to a hot spring. I love the idea of it and I'm definitely going to go to one at some point.
As well,
so go, if you go, let us know how you get on there. We've got some gorgeous scenic cruising and then you're going to arrive in Hiroshima. Now, the historical significance here is what it's all about as well. You've got the Peace Memorial Museum, the Atomic Bomb Dome as well, to really kind of learn like what the history of the area. Next, it is Kochi. Now, here you've got an amazing castle that you can go and visit. Now, when you think of like a British castle, obviously we know it's all about. Imagine going to a Japanese one. I mean, so ornate, so beautiful, so serene. Then we're going to Kobe. Now, this is where you've got to go and have some beef, haven't you?
Got to be done, hasn't it?
Kobe beef there. I mean, wow, lovely. Also, you can take a tour of a sake brewery and, of course, sample it. We call it a Japanese rice wine, but it's just a Japanese drink of itself. Next, you're going to Shimizu, which is for Mount Fuji in Japan. Now, the tallest mountain, amazing, and it's the country's most sacred symbol as well. So it's got temples and shrines located all around the bottom of it. Very, very beautiful, worth a visit. We're going back to Yokohama, and then that's where it's time to get your flight home from there. Fantastic.
And this is, again, one of those cruises where, you know, if you wanted to see this part of the world, we talk about it all the time, and that's because we could literally fill the channel right now with Japan packages and it would not be enough because everyone wants to be there. This is kind of like, you know, hotspot. Everyone wants to see it. And again, just going back to what I said before, just be conscious that, you know, travel prices are rising. That's a reality. The price of everything is rising. That's a reality, isn't it? But it's catching up with travel now as well, and it's really starting to make a difference. So we are advanced planning right now with low deposits, remember, and this is one of our most popular packages to take you to Japan here at Cruise1st. It's for June in 2026. Deposits today of just £199 each. I'm going to show you the price tag right now just so you can see the value that you can lock in right now. Now that is your flights to and from Tokyo. It's a 3-night stay in a hotel there and your cruise on the Diamond Princess to and from Yokohama for 12 nights of cruising Japan and South Korea, including the port for Mount Fuji, which for me, it's the last port, but for me, it's like saving the best for last. It's a brilliant one. And all under £3,000 each. Here's the details if you'd like to upgrade from interior up to ocean view or balcony or to the suites. The suites are really lovely, actually. You'll of course, you would love a suite, Polly. That's kind of goes without
goes without saying.
Goes without saying. The more, the merrier in terms of size and comfort and, you know, extra facilities. And the balconies are very, very nice indeed. I have to say, very relaxing. But you know what, whether you go for the best deal at interior there or whether you go up to the highest suite, you're going to have such a lovely relaxed time where you will feel, even though you are around, you know, like quite a few thousand other people who are on board, you will feel like you are being cared for as well, because there's not that sense of crowding or being in the way or being in long lines or whatever when you're on board. Princess are very, and all the cruise lines are very, very clever at making sure that people are kind of have plenty of different things to do in plenty of different areas of the ship, that not everyone is, you know, converging on one particular place at the same time. This very much, though, is going to be about exploring the port and then sharing those stories with your fellow passengers. You know, as you have a glass of wine in the evening or a gin and tonic in one of the bars, or you know, on the way. Yes, a sake.
Yeah.
Yes, after your day in Kobe. Yeah, beef and sake on the same day. That sounds all right, doesn't it? You just got to see whether you can remember the day after, because it can be quite potent, can't it?
I've heard. I haven't had it.
It's one of those drinks, isn't it? You know, we all do this when we go abroad, don't we? There's a little drink that we think, I'm just going to enjoy one of these responsibly, and then someone says, "Oh, fancy another?" And oh, actually, I do quite like that, and that turns into, you know, the day after where you're thinking, "Oh."
Well, I think, why? Why was that a good idea?
I'll remember that for a while.
So yes, you can try it, but you can try it responsibly. And as Derek always says, just have the one. No, just have the one.
Yes, just stop at one.
We need to change that.
We're so naughty, aren't we? We're like, all like big kids, really, aren't we? Anyway, listen, thank you so much for your company. Stay right where you are. We are back with lots more ideas, of course. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, one way or the other. Come and see us here at Cruise1st.
Bye-bye.